Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. I want to give you guys an update, kind of my small lot challenge. I set up an account that was right at $6,000 January 1st. I want to show you some statements as to where it is now and kind of the strategies and stuff like that I'm using. First, let's take a quick look at the markets. So February is over. The 10-day moving average of the put-call ratio is just starting to get into bearish territory. All that, it doesn't mean that the market crashes there, but it means that you get a ceiling on here until that resolves itself. So at the very least, and of course I know that this market could explode higher, but at the very least, I'm not really interested in any market sensitive stocks unless and until we get a pullback to that 21 period moving average. So the next question is that if I'm not interested in the indexes, what am I interested in? I'm interested in stocks like Chipotle's. Okay, Chipotle is on its own planet right here. It doesn't necessarily care what it's doing. Yandex here, this is one I picked up today. I think this one's interesting. This is one where we got a squeeze, we got a great RAF buy, and I think this can get something going. There's a lot of other interesting plays that are out there. And I've got, just kind of a watch list here that has popped up with some interesting stuff that I'm going to take a look at tomorrow for my 60-day breakouts. But just keep in mind that the markets here are, for the first time since the December bottom, showing signs of real internal pausing points, and we just want to respect that. All right. And then from there, of course, the biggest thing that we're going to be looking at is the dollar. So goes the dollar. If I can put this in correctly, so goes the dollar, so goes a lot of other assets, and there is a monstrous weekly squeeze setting up on the dollar, and of course a 4-day and a 3-day squeeze as well. At this point, I don't know if this thing is going to go higher or lower. So I will be setting up, there's ways to do straddles and strangles and things like this on this as well. But just keep in mind that so goes the dollar. It's going to impact stocks. It's going to impact gold. And it's going to impact a lot of things. So you just want to be aware of this and keep an eye on it because the move is going to be a big one. All right, let's take a look here at the small account. All right, so what I wanted to do is update is I want to update you guys on the small account challenge. So at the beginning of this year, I had a lot of emails from folks going, hey, I like the trades that you're doing in your larger accounts, but I can't really follow them in a small account. Would you set up a small account so we could see how you can trade it? So it's kind of a small account challenge. So it started off, let's see, where is it here? This was January 1st through January 31st of this year. So I set up a small account with $5,937, and it ended, prior value, current value, it ended January at $11,935, which was a gain of 101%, doing options. And then from there, as of February 18th, which was about 10 days ago, the balance was $16,000, $16,800, so that's about 41%. And then as of today, it's ending the month at $19,800. So I think that's what, 60% or something like that. So basically taking that 50, or let's call it a $6,000 account, and almost tripling it in 2 months. So what I've done with this is I've taken very specific small lot strategies. And what's interesting is this, of course, that's how I had to learn because I was learning on a small account, right? But what was interesting is I started learning how to do that and creating bigger accounts. I then learned strategies in large accounts that I wish I had known when I was trading a small account. So it's really interesting about this, some of the stuff that I've learned with that. And so part of this is managing your equity curve, all right? You want to actually manage it in such a way so that your drawdowns aren't too much, all right? And that's actually a really key part of this. Another big part of that is understanding like things like monthly point of control, like headlines like this where, this has happened a couple of days ago where, Nike, the Duke star, Zion Williamson, his shoe breaks, and the headline was Nike stock value plunges 1.1 billion. But what they didn't know is that the markets all work on liquidity these days, and that liquidity being driven by the algos is at that monthly point of control. So you can see it gap down here, but then came right back up and ended up positive on the day. And of course, they don't understand that. But if you understand stuff like that, then that actually helps quite a bit. Thank you, TradeStation, for that. That actually helps quite a bit in kind of navigating the waters for the small account. So needless to say, I'm going to be doing a class on this, to a lot of interest in this, and so I just want to show everybody, what I'm doing with this. All of this stuff is stuff that is available on TOS already. You've got obviously implied volatility. There's things like beta, Bollinger percent B, volume profile, etc. And what it is though is I like to set these up in my own way. And so, I've got all these things created to give you during the class. They're already on there, but I've got my own settings on it, and I've kind of created this stuff to make it just a lot easier, kind of a one-stop shop. I've also got scans that I've created to find these small account setups, and I'll share those during the class. And it comes in at about 7 specific setups and specific money management strategies for doing this. On Monday, a lot of people ask, like, why did I get out of all my trades on Monday when some of my stocks didn't hit my target? Because with a small account, you got to manage the net liquidating value. And when your positions get to be over a certain percent, like 15%, of your small account value, you liquidate it. Okay, so this is not about stops and targets. This is about trading a small account in such a way as to create the most value as possible with the least amount of risk. All right. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is a strategy class next Saturday, March 9th, okay? So Saturday, March 9th, I'm going to be doing a strategy class on this. There's a couple of bonuses that, if you're newer to options, there's going to be a option 101. And then if you're newer to like my style of trading and you're newer to simpler, I'm going to give you kind of a foundation of how I view the markets and things like that too. And those will also be included in there. And if you go to simplertrading.com/SAS, which is small account secrets, that'll get you set up, okay? If you want to do the pro version, it's going to include 3 days of live trading. And then I thought I was going to do something a little bit different for this one because a lot of times, we'll do all the trades, but then we leave some trades open. So what I thought was, in like a couple of weeks later, we do an additional 2 days of live trading, 5 total, and then that would be $12.97 if you really just want to dive into this. So this class is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, if you've got a big account, you can do it too, but it is designed specifically for a small account. This is not theory. This is stuff I've been doing in 2019. It's working in 2019, and I'm excited to share it with you. All right, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you at the next update.